Hello everyone, it's Hunter and welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, it is so nice to meet you. Today's video, I have not posted one of these in a hot minute because I have just been, I have not posted a long form video on YouTube since I think July, which has been forever. So I am trying to get back into it. However, I am currently pregnant with my second child. If you did not know that already, I posted on my Instagram, on TikTok, and also on Shorts, but I have not posted it in a long form video. So I thought I'd give you that little update. Found out in July, and it's kind of just, I've been really sick and haven't really been felt up to filming. So bear with me. But with that being said, I am going to be doing one of my favorite videos of the month, and it is a book wrap up for the month of September. Can't believe it's already October. It just feels like 2025 flew by faster than any other year, and I feel like everybody always says that about every single year, but truly 2025 has been one of the fastest years of my life. So I found the books on Goodreads, so let's just go ahead and get started. The first book is The Surrogate by Freida McFadden. I don't know what I gave this one 4 stars. I decided to read it because I think it got re-released as a traditionally published book. I kept seeing it in Target. So I decided to read it. It's not a new book, but it has been recently republished. So it's about a woman who she is desperate to get pregnant, and after trying for years and years and being unsuccessful, her and her husband still want to have a baby, so they decide to pursue adoption. When something falls through at the last minute, her assistant offers to be a surrogate mother for her, which she's not sure about, but she's excited about, and slowly over time things just start to be a little bit fishy. She thinks that she's going crazy, honestly, and it's just like slowly over time she just is not quite sure why she's going crazy all throughout the progress of the pregnancy, and it makes her wonder, like, is this woman gonna give me this baby that's supposed to be mine? So it's just a whole thing. I thought it was a good story. There were parts of it, I've said this before, but Freida McFadden's writing, in my opinion, is not very good. The stories I think are really good. I like the stories, I like the concepts of the stories, but sometimes I just feel like the stories, her writing just like isn't great. Sometimes the characters say things that don't make sense to me, so that's kind of why I gave it 4 stars. But overall I thought it was an okay book. The next book I read got 5 stars, and it is You Belong Here by Megan Miranda. This one came out in July of this year, and I read basically everything this woman writes. It is about a woman named Beckett, and she returns to her hometown where something bad happened when she was in college. She moved away, and her daughter is going to the same college that she went to, and so she is kind of forced to revisit the past. And then one day, halfway through the semester, she gets a phone call from her daughter that drops, but she hears like breathing, and she cannot get a hold of her daughter after that. So she spends a good amount of time looking for her daughter, trying to figure out where she is. Nobody's really taking her seriously because she's a college student who's not answering the phone when her mom is calling. So that doesn't seem anything out of the ordinary to a lot of people, but her mom just knows that something is up. So she goes back to the school and starts looking for her and starts to dig into things, and things kind of turn crazy. I really loved this. There's a great plot twist at the end. Overall, it was a really good book. I really liked it. The next book I read was Circle of Strangers by Mika Kent, and it is about a family who moves to this new neighborhood in Arizona. This is the second book of a series, so a whole bunch of stuff happened with this family in the first book. I can't remember what the first book is called, and it took me a minute to realize this was connected to that one. But anyway, they moved to Arizona into this neighborhood that seems very idyllic, where they can kind of get a fresh start. She becomes friends with the neighbors, but she is kind of having doubts about one of the other neighbors. She thinks that this other woman is like obsessed with her husband. She is not sure who she can trust, and overall I thought it was really good. I gave it 4 stars. I can't remember why, but I just know that I did really like it. So the series is called Dangerous Strangers, so I think that's what the first book is called. The next one I had on my list to read for a really long time, and it finally became available through the library. It's called It's a Love Story by Annabelle Monaghan, and I gave this one 5 stars. I thought it was so good. It's about, I don't know what her job is. Hold on. Okay, so the main character, her name is Jane. She is a creative executive for films in LA, and she is trying to get this one movie picked up that she really believes in, and she really loves it, but she needs something that can get them to say yes to the story. So if you rewind to her past, she was once a very awkward teenager on a TV show, and she sang a song with this one guy who's really famous and popular now. So she decides that she needs to get in touch with this man to ask him to write a song for this movie. she doesn't know how she's gonna do that. She calls his agent and she gets turned down. He does not want to talk to her, so that was a bad situation. So she goes with this man who she doesn't really like to his hometown in Long Island, which is where this original singer is gonna be singing, performing at, and that's her chance to get him in person to talk to him. And obviously, since she's staying with this one guy, I think his name is Dan. Yeah, she is not sure how she feels about Dan, but she really loves that she is getting the opportunity to go on this trip for free, with the exception of paying for the flights, because they're staying with his family. Anyway, she gets to experience a whole different side of Dan, this guy that she has not really gotten to know before. So obviously, it's a love story. We love enemies to lovers, forced proximity situation, which is definitely what this is. And I was a really big fan. I feel like the way I just described that wasn't very good, but I promise it was great. The next story is The Last Mrs. Parrish by Liv Constantine, and this is actually an older book, and it has a lot of reviews. It has 454,000 ratings, so it has so many ratings. It was on Reese's Book Club, and I'd been wanting to read it forever, and then my husband got me a physical copy of the book for my birthday. He always gets me a book for birthday and Christmas, so he just literally goes through the aisles of Target and picks out a book he thinks I would like. So this is definitely one that I enjoyed. It's about this couple, or it's about this girl named Amber. She feels like she blends into the background, so she decides to take life into her own hands, and she, under false pretenses, decides to befriend a woman named Daphne, who has a super rich husband named Jackson. She becomes basically Daphne's best friend, and she is trying to get in with her husband. She's basically trying to become the next Mrs. Parrish, Jackson Parrish. So she does everything that she can to try to worm her way into his life and get him to start an affair with her. I don't know how to tell the rest of the story without giving anything away, so I'll just say that there's a part 2 from a different perspective, and it is literally so good. I was not expecting the plot twist. It obviously was halfway through, so there's that, but I was definitely not expecting it at all, and I really, really enjoyed it. The next book is one that was also on my list for a long time, and I cannot believe how much I absolutely loved it. It's Ready or Not by Cara Bastone, or Bastone, I don't know how it's pronounced, but I gave this one 5 stars. I listened to this one on audiobook, and I do feel like that made a huge difference. I thought that the narrator was really, really good at inflections and different voices and adding in like laughter and like sound effects and stuff with her voice, and I think that that really made the whole experience. But it's about this woman, what is her name? It's about this woman named Eve. She finds out that she is pregnant in the beginning of the story, and this is obviously unexpected. It is with a one-night stand, something that she never ever does. But of course, the one night that she has a one-night stand, she gets pregnant, and she reaches out to the father, who she finds out has a girlfriend. Meanwhile, she is just feeling very unsure of herself. She's very not confident. She's just not sure how this whole pregnancy and motherhood thing is going to go. Meanwhile, her very best friend Willa has been trying and failing to get pregnant for years, and so telling her friend has been really difficult, knowing that her friend is dealing with infertility and things like that. But she also has her best friends. So Willa's brother Shep is a year older than them, and he is basically the guy that's around for everything that she needs, whether it is he is always stepping in to help. He's always been friendly, checking in to help, ordering surprise lunches, listening to her complaints, etc., etc. And suddenly she's finding herself very attracted to him, but she's not sure if it's the hormones. So basically she's just like rethinking her whole life. At the very end of the book, she obviously gives birth, because that is the story, and it is just absolutely so heartwarming, and I feel like the way that she describes the birth and the love that she feels for her baby immediately is something that if you are a mother, you can 100% relate to. Pregnancy can be very scary. It can be full of unknowns, even if it's something that you want, even if you have, got pregnant on purpose and you're in a very loving and committed relationship. I am married, I'll be married for 7 years by the time our baby is born, and even with all of that, still being pregnant and raising a child can be really scary because of all the unknowns that can come with it and just the huge life changes that you get. But the rush of love that you feel for your child in that very moment is everything, and I feel like that perfectly describes it. I just really felt connected to her in that way, just the way that she kind of grew up in that aspect. So I really enjoyed it. It was really, really good. The next book I read was an advanced reader's copy from G.P. Putnam's Sons is the publisher. Either way, it's by Fallon Ballard. I love her books. Do I have one on my shelf right here? No, just kidding. I thought I did. Anyway, it's by Fallon Ballard and it's called Toe to Toe. It comes out on March 10th, 2026, and I gave this one 5 stars. It is about this girl named Allegra who is a ballerina. She really wants to be promoted to a principal ballerina. I'll be honest, I have no idea what that means, but I think it just means that she is higher up in the level of whatever, means she'll be considered for leading roles more often. I'm so hot, I need to pull my hair up. Anyway, so she wants to be principal, so she goes to her director, who basically tells her that he doesn't think that she has what it takes to be the lead in the next ballet that they're going to be putting on, because it's a lot different than what she's used to. Essentially, he says that she's not sexy enough for the role, which already is a huge red flag to hear that from your director or someone in charge of you, because it makes it seem like he's gonna want you to do some stuff you don't want to do or you're not comfortable with. So anyway, she is feeling very down about this, very upset. So it's her sister is getting married. She goes to a bachelorette party. It's at a strip club. Not really a strip club, but more like, I think Magic Mike, I guess, or like Chippendales, I guess. I don't know anything about, I've never seen Magic Mike, and I've never watched anything Chippendales related except for the scenes that are in Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. But I guess it's kind of that same concept. Men dancing shirtless pretty much is what I'm getting the vibe of. Anyway, she sees this dancer and she's just absolutely enamored by his dancing and thinks he's absolutely stunning at dancing. So she finds a way to get in contact with him. His name is Cord, and she asks him basically to teach her how to be a sexier dancer. And of course that means they're spending time together in close proximity, and we love a forced proximity moment. However, Cord has some issues of his own from his past that he needs to kind of reconcile before he really feels like he can be with Allegra, and Allegra is struggling because ballet is the most important thing in her life. She does not want to put anything above ballet. She's worked really hard to get to where she is, and she absolutely loves it. She has a very demanding family who also very much values their relationship with the ballet. So it's a very interesting look into the world of a professional dancer. I don't know how accurate this is to real life, but I really enjoyed it, so I gave it 5 stars. The last book that I completed, I'm actually probably going to finish another book today, but I'm not completely finished with it yet, so that's why I'm not going to add it here. But the last one is Ward D by Freida McFadden, and once again, I just don't think that Freida McFadden's writing is that great, but the stories, like sometimes the stories are great. Like I like the plot, so I read it for the plot, not for the writing. And it's not so bad that I can't handle it, I just don't love her writing. It just feels very like I don't have a background in writing, if that makes sense. But anyway, it's Ward D. I gave it 3 stars. I actually finished it 2 days ago. And it is about, I can literally never remember characters' names. Her name is Amy. She is a medical student. She has been assigned to Ward D, the locked psychiatric unit in the hospital. She is currently doing clinical rounds kind of to see what she's interested in, I guess, so she can figure out what she's going to go to residency in. There is a note at the beginning of the book saying she took a lot of the author took a lot of creative liberties with this situation, so she knows that a lot of the things that she writes about in this particular book are very inaccurate, or just like, what's the word I'm looking for? Are not accurate or are very like off the wall, I guess, which I do appreciate her saying that in the beginning, because otherwise I'd be like, this is so inaccurate. Anyway, but she has this visit to a psychiatric unit and it's overnight. It's a locked ward and she is so freaked out. She's so not looking forward to it. She does have a history with a friend who was a psych patient in this exact same ward. And so she's scared it's gonna bring back some memories and just open some doors that she's not really ready to open. She gets there, she meets the doctor, she has her ex-boyfriend in there, which she is so not expecting and is not looking forward to, and she's just trying to make it through the night because she knows that she does not want to pursue psych, but she kind of has to for the sake of school. So it just takes you through the night. It's so interesting because it goes back and forth between the person that she knows that was in the psych ward when she was younger and to the present moment. I gave it 3 stars because of the writing, but I really enjoyed the plot twist. I'll be honest, I was not expecting the plot twist, and I feel like sometimes the plot twist can be predictable, but in this one I do not think that the plot twist was predictable at all. Like, I was completely shocked by it, and for that reason I was like, jaw dropped at the end. I was not expecting it at all. So yeah. It's also a very fast-paced book, so if it's something that's boring you, it's not gonna bore you. And also if you're not into like reading, or you also like, I don't know, I think it's very beginner friendly when it comes to thriller books as well, so that's another reason I think why I continue to read her stories, because like I said, I do think that the story itself, usually the plot is great, I just don't love the writing. That was the last book that I completed in September. That is all I have for today's video. So if you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel down below. And if I take forever to upload videos, please have patience with me. I just hit 40,000 subscribers, which is absolutely insane. And never in my life did I think I would have even more than 10,000 subscribers. So thank you so much if you have subscribed recently, or if you subscribed 10 years ago. I'm so thankful and I'm so grateful to be here, and I'm so thankful for each and every one of you. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.